All right, Deacon and I rode out to the KTM Adventure Rally in Park City. We had a lot of attention. Lots of people wanted to pose with us. One of the purposes to coming out is to ride with my Navy buddy Ron. And this is the route we took. We're taking the orange ride all the way around there. Some nice scenery along the way. We're starting out at the Silver Baron Lodge, and it's underground parking, nice and secure. Get close, door opens up, and then we're going to head out to the paddock where the everyone else is waiting, and we're going to be catching a 9:30 ride that will take us a few hours. We have a perfectly clear day. There hasn't been any precipitation, so it should be dry. And the paddock area is right in front of the Silver Baron Lodge, where Ron and I are sharing a room. And we'll go by all the demo models that you can take out for a ride, and then get in line with the particular ride that we're going to take, which is going to be led by a pro. Well, I get to the head of the queue, and all of a sudden we hear some noise behind us, and it turns out Ron's bike accidentally caught another bike and fell over, and that bike went down, and like dominoes, another bike next to him went down. So everybody kind of rushes over to pick up the bikes. No damage or anything, but it's the first fall of the day. I'm sure Ron feels a little embarrassed. That's Russell Bobbitt, who's going to be our lead guy, and we'll be with him a short time of the way until him and a few young guys peel off to do some single track. Fiddling with my phone. I'm trying to launch Rever because the track we're going on is on there, but for some reason the Rever application won't launch because I've got a battery saver set up, and I don't know how to solve that. I don't know how to turn it off, and everybody's getting ready to leave, and so this sets up some problems later on the trip when everybody peels off and leaves a bunch of us that don't want to go on the single track to try to figure out where we're supposed to ride. I'll pick that up later. I'll try to catch up to Ron. He's in the yellow jacket right ahead of me, and so we'll make sure we don't get too far apart from each other, because really, it's the reason we both come to this thing is an excuse to see each other once a year. Ron and I were stationed in the Navy back in 1966 in Key West, Florida, and it's there that I introduced him to motorcycles, and then we bought a couple, and then we bought a couple more. The first bikes we owned down there were Yamaha 305 twin two-strokes, and then I bought a Norton P11, and he bought a Triumph 650, and that had high pipes. So we both had scramblers. I think we had both just been promoted to E5 and that's what we were doing with our extra money. As usual, when Deacon sees bikes in front of us, he wants me to catch up and pass him, and so he starts barking. And I don't plan on doing that. It's more fun to see a few bikes in front of us. But it's kind of funny to watch the guys turn around and look back at it and say, what is going on? Deacon isn't wearing his goggles. They are around his neck, but the conditions are nice, and you'll see that that windshield provides him some coverage of air that comes by, and if we pick up speed or we get in different situations, he'll go ahead and just tuck right in behind the windshield. So that was a great addition to our bike. Absolutely amazed at this part of Utah. I'd never expected that there'd be mountains and different areas that we're going to go into that were so close to what I am used to being in Colorado. I always picture Utah as being just desert, monuments, you know, canyon lands, Salt Lake City, desert, that sort of things. And this particular part of the state is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I can see why there's so many rich people that live here. There's a bunch of, you know, big old houses in the area, and prices were kind of high downtown when we went out to eat, but I really liked it. I was very impressed with Park City, and I really thank the KTM promoters for getting this location. They always try to get ski lodges where we can have places to park and enough rooms for 300 and some people. And this was an excellent one. Unfortunately, though, you do, on almost any place you're going to go to, you're going to have to go down the same road back and forth. It's fine the first or second time going in and back, but on the other rides you still have to do the same thing again. So there's a lot of pavement road before you actually get to any dirt. And so I suspect maybe the next one hopefully is going to be in Colorado. I heard a rumor that at the meeting that it might be Breckenridge. Here we finally get off the pavement, and now we're going to be heading on to some dirt up into hills above Park City. We had reports that somebody had a flat tire, so that may be why these three riders have stopped there, and I'm glad that younger men are around to help change tires. If we were to get a tire or a flat on our tires, I would just ride the darn thing out. I just can't change a tire anymore. And that's why I always keep 36 pounds PSI in my tires, and I run super heavy duty tubes and try to keep my tires nice and fresh to minimize the chance of a flat. The KTM 690 does not have rim locks, so we normally keep the tire pressure really high to keep the tire from spinning on the wheel. Now, if you do add rim locks to your KTM 690, you can get away with running lower tire pressures, but if you look at the frame, they always recommend it's over 30 psi, especially when I'm almost 2 up with the baggage I'm carrying, mostly on me and the luggage, and with the dog who weighs 50 pounds. We got a bunch of switchbacks, and as we come around the corner, we see these guys who just dragged that 690 up off the side of the hill. He came around really hot and then laid it down, and so they when I first glimpsed it, the handlebars were at road level and they dragged it up. So be careful out there, guys. Behind because at one corner everybody had taken off up the road, and I knew there was people behind us. Evidently they took a wrong turn, and so I was waiting them for quite a while, and then finally gave up, and then Ron and I took it back up to join the rest of the group. Alright, here's the group that's waiting for us, so that's cool. The actual route we're supposed to take is to the left. There's another route that goes to the right, and Russell, I guess, had decided to take a bunch of younger men that had joined our group that were all on Enduros, and they were going to go on a single track. We were promised an easy route that's good for adventure bikes, you know, like 690s, 990s, 1190s, 1290s. So we were kind of in a dilemma because the 7 of us didn't really have the route on our phones from Rever because, you know, I had trouble getting mine loaded. But then the one couple that had gotten lost that were on a 1290 showed up, and they had Rever, so we made him be our point guy, and he leads us off on the rest of the ride.
Hey, thanks for making it here. I was worried about you. I told him, hey guys, we lost a bunch of people, and because there's 1, 2 up. You guys are not too hard to miss.
No, there's somebody changing a tire, and another guy that stopped. I don't know why.
We lost his muffler. One guy ran off the road.
Yeah, that's one was the one on the Husqvarna.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran off the road, and he was stopped trying to fix it, and then another guy was changing a flat.
Okay. You're not going to do the single track, are you?
No.
Okay. Do you have Rever on there?
Yes, I do. I'm following Rever right now. That's
What's
how we found you.
What's your name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, you shall lead us.
I shall lead you.
You shall lead us.
I hope you're ready to go slow.
Because I can't get my Rever going, and so none of us that want to do that route, because we're chicken shits.
I hope you're ready to go slow.
We are. We are slow.
You think she's slowing me down? She's not.
No.
That's slow I ride.
No. We love that. You know, I got the dog wants to go slow. Ron wants to go slow. These guys want to go slow. Right? We got a leader. Woohoo! Life is good.
One thing to keep in mind of at all these events, make sure that you've got enough GPS location information that you can go on these by yourself, because invariably people don't always look for you or waiting for you at a turn, like what just happened here. They had actually waited till make sure everybody made it when there was a possible 2 ways to go. That's the way it's supposed to work when you go out trail riding with buddies. And so yeah, and this happens at every KTM event. We always get left behind because we don't keep up enough with the go fast guys, and they kind of turn into a race or showing off. And we didn't have rever on board, I finally got within the range of the cell tower, and I just typed in Google Maps to go take us back to the Silver Lodge, and this is the way they took us. Now accidentally, when we get to the top of this hill, we run into a bunch of other guys, and then we learned some more about our route.
Where'd you guys go? Well, we're gonna go that way.
As it turns out, we're at the intersection that we just left. People were supposed to go left up there, and that became a pretty gnarly climb for a lot of riders. The group that we were with, we got separated from once we hit the highway, and we didn't see them again until we got back to the paddock. So, and they said they were really glad that we may have missed it because it was pretty rough. And the guy in the 1290 said he actually had to ride 2 690 bikes up the hill because the other guys couldn't make it. So, since Ron was feeling pretty wiped out because of the high altitude, he lives in St. Louis. It was a good thing that we didn't go any farther. And I'm going to lose a lot of my video after we get down to the flatland out of the hills. So this is where it's going to end here at the bottom, and we won't be showing the ride back into town.
No, you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
I hope during this whole ride you enjoyed yourself, you enjoyed the music, and we didn't ride anymore this weekend, but I'll have another video that shows us just hanging out with all the other people, getting pictures with Deacon on everybody else's motorcycles.